just give them an advantage there. Kaisa going to be the first pick on the side of Pepega. So another scaling. Looks like they're going to try and go for the same comp they did last time. Maybe pick up that Nautilus again. Go for maybe an early Vayne pick on the side of Lambton. She can actually be flexed to the mid and top lane as well as bot lane where she usually goes. Haven't seen a lot of top Vayne lately. Mostly bot Vayne, but you never know. Looks like you got a couple seconds to lock it in. Hovering it, and they are going to pick up the Vayne. So they're going to match that Kaisa scaling with the Vayne scaling. So they're both going to be pretty even.
At least it's a fair advantage.
Yeah, and they got a Janna pick on the side of Lambton, pairing with that Vayne, so going to give a lot of shields and healing. Not exactly the most powerful support in this meta. Obviously, there's you have a lot of the CC supports are more valued, such as the Taric or the Nautilus. Both were present in the last game, but looks like they're both going to go away from that. Looks like they might go for the same, just go for the same lineup they did last time, picking up the Ivern in the jungle again. Looks like they're going to go for maybe some comfort picks for this. Something, again, the Nautilus. So we've got a Kaisa Nautilus bot lane again. A lot of engage on the side of Pega, but the Janna does offer a lot of disengage for the Nautilus with her ult and with her tornado. So definitely going to help out that Vayne a lot. Try and get some peel. Get the Nautilus off of the Vayne, give her a chance to take down Nautilus before he can be super effective. And last pick, they're going to pick up an Amumu actually, so that's a very interesting choice on the side of Lambton. Not sure exactly. Obviously, it's going in the jungle. Not sure exactly why they decided that pick, but the Zillion on the side of Pepega squad is going to be banned, or on the side of Lambton is going to be banned out. Cassiopeia is going to be banned on the side of Pepega, not looking towards that mid lane pool, trying to cut that down a bit on both sides. Nautilus, again, is a very good flex pick. Because of his AP buffs, he can be put in top lane, he can put in mid lane, he can put in support. I've even seen a few jungle games on him, so he can go almost anywhere. He's a very powerful champion right now. Final ban is going to be a Vel'Koz on the side of Lambton. He's been flexed to support a few times lately. Very good. A lot of forms of CC can cut down a Vayne Vayne very quickly. And Echo is going to be the final ban on the side of Pepega. Again, targeting that mid lane pool. Both sides actually going for that. So the final 4 bans, arguably 4 mid lane bans. Both sides haven't chosen their mid laner yet, but there is a lot of flex on the side of Pepega that can go to the mid lane. So Ornn looks like it's going to be pick up for Lambton. And we got 2 more picks on the side of Pepega. I'll see what those are in a minute. And not really sure right now, just waiting it out. Now, looks like we got a couple technical issues for a second.
Alrighty, folks.
There we go.
Technical difficulty here.
So the Ornn is going to be picked up. Technical issues got resolved. And the Veigar is going to be picked up again for Pepega. So they're looking for maybe the same comp. They got a Renekton top lane instead of the Jarvan. So definitely a very strong solo laner. Can hold his own, especially at the beginning. On that Ornn on the top lane is going to be very tough. And the final pickup is going to be Ziggs. Good safe laner against the Veigar. Can poke him out pretty well. Not forced to do any engage if he doesn't want to. A lot of comfort picks on Pepega. It looks like they're going to go for a pretty similar lineup to the last time. They are going to give heavy advantage in top lane to the Renekton, though, against that Ornn. Definitely going to be tough for him to challenge. Looks like maybe a TP on the side of Renekton, though, which means that, fortunately for them, it's not going to be super oppressive. But early game advantage definitely going on the side of Pepega. A lot of really, really good team fight potential on the side of Lambton, though. You got the Ornn ult, you got the Amumu ult, you got the Ziggs ult, and you got the those 3 ults are all going to be, in the same area. So their team fight's going to be really well, especially with the Janna, who can cover. But there is a scary amount of CC on the side of Pepega between the Renekton and the Veigar and the Nautilus. Definitely going to look for a lot of engages in the bot lane. Looking for, again, the Ivern's going to try and focus down that bot lane, take out the Kaisa and the Nautilus. They're going to use the Kaisa Nautilus to take out the Janna Vayne, because if that Vayne scales, it's going to be very tough for Pepega to actually withstand the onslaught of CC coming from Lambton. So
I'm a little bit excited to see, this Kaiser play again because during the last game it was pretty heavy for
yeah,
that player just to.
she took over the game as she does when she scales. Obviously, it's going to look a lot different because there is an actual ADC in this game. With the Vayne, the big thing I'm seeing though is the early game Janna shielding is going to be huge against the Kai'Sa because a lot of the time Nautilus and Kai'Sa rely on burst. Obviously, Kai'Sa's not going to do a lot of damage in the early games. She's going to wait till later to scale up, similar to the Vayne. The Vayne does do a lot of damage early though if she gets those 3 procs, especially against a Nautilus. A lot of tankier champions, if you can get the peel, you can kind of just melt them down over time. So definitely something to think about, something to consider when you're going for a dive as an Ivern, because Ivern is a champion who can offer some shields and a snare, but he's not really someone who can tank, who can absorb some pressure. So look for Ivern gank some bot again, try and scale up this Kai'Sa again, go for the same strategy they used last time.
Hopefully, this is something that we see. It was definitely a tight knit group going with their kind of sticking together.
They went for their comfort picks again, and definitely going for the same style. Obviously, there's a couple high-ranked players on the side of Lambton that they're watching out for, specifically the Janna and the mid laner. So maybe a little more attention to the bot lane. Obviously, as I was saying, leave the top lane alone. You kind of have a guaranteed win in that sense because you have a Renekton top lane. You don't have to worry about losing that lane against an Ornn, because an Ornn will give you upgraded items when he hits 14. So the Ornn gives, there's an upgrade for Infinity Edge for the Vayne, which is probably going to be first if he gets there. And then he's going to upgrade the mid laner's items, I believe was the Ziggs. So he's going to give him a better Ludens or a better Rabadons, deciding on what he wants. But they're going for a late game for Lambton. They're going for the Vayne scaling and for the Ornn assists there. Definitely looking more towards not trying to fight early game, using that Renekton pressure in the top lane, try and help out the jungle pressure. Kind of stop the early game advantage that Lambton's going to try and build. It's going to be most likely not a very interesting first couple minutes of the game, just because the Renekton's going to take over the top lane, is going to get a big CS lead. Bot lane's both looking for scaling, mid lane both looking for some disengage. The Vygar's going to look for scaling, Ziggs is going to look to zone him off. So my guess is not a lot of action in the beginning of the game. So.
Also, if you are tuning in, there are several other streams going on right now, so feel free to check out any of the other Saints Gaming channels.
We got Saints Gaming CA 1, 2, and 4, all streaming different games. So definitely, if you want to come check out a variety of different stuff we got going on here, and even if you want to come down to the event at Clair College, there's a lot of people here who definitely are having fun. There's a lot of spectators here as well. And Smash gets started around 12, so there's going to be a lot more people that are going to show up momentarily. But yeah, we got a lot of different sports going on, so definitely come, check it out, be a part of the Windsor Esports team. So it looks like we're going to get into game momentarily here. And here we go. So looks like they're going for the same strategy they did last time with the Kai'Sa going bot, looking for the possible invade. Vayne is going to stand in that bush again. Going to look for the Nautilus hook. Same thing that happened last time. Remember, pretty crazy beginning of the game. Looking for Nautilus. Going to go for the hook again. Vayne, good positioning, able to get out of there. No problems there. Not like the last one where there was about 5 or 6 summoners blown in the first 30 seconds. So
yeah.
Not as explosive. But definitely look for this Renekton to try and push his advantage top, roam to possibly the mid lane. Ziggs has some decent escape, not a ton of it, but definitely Renekton's going to push out that top lane, get a big CS advantage there. Ornn is just going to have to, face the fact that he's going to have to sit in our tower for a while and farm up. So Ornn had a couple big changes last patch. He actually got his upgraded items sooner, and he was able to pick up his own upgraded items sooner. So what they did basically was they wanted to try and balance him out. So he was able to get better stuff for his upgraded items. So what he does is he takes someone else's item, upgrades it, so it gains a little bit of advantage. Oh, we all have skirmish in bot lane already, going after the Janna. Janna's going to flash out. He's able to heal out of it. Vayne looking for the kill, and then Kai'Sa. Kai'Sa going for the Q. Actually gets the first blood. Oh, and they're going to take the Vayne too. Wow, very well played on the side of Pepega squad. Able to pick up the double kill. Summoners burned on Kai'Sa, but both Summoners burned on Vayne and Janna. Double kill on the side of Kai'Sa, and Nautilus not burning flash, just burning the ignite. Very well played by them. Good timing and a good Kai'Sa flash and able to pick up the kill on Janna. That was very close though, because that was big risky, because if she didn't get that, Janna would come back with a shield, and Ornn actually taking for the Renekton here early. Definitely looking for the kill. Gets the stun, go for the auto attack reset, and he gets it. Only takes one tower shot, able to survive, picks up the kill top lane, and 3-0 on the side of Pepega squad, and we're only 2.5 minutes into this game, so
Pepega's definitely picking up that early lead.
Yeah. And Renekton's going to go in on half healthy Ornn again. Take a tower shot for it, but Ornn just burned TP top, lost half his health, and is going to lose a lot of CS here, actually. So, Amumu is taking his top jungle, maybe look for a gank into that top lane. Renekton's going to back up, going to play it smart. Is able to pick up, going to pick up a couple items here. And already
see that Kai'Sa going back down to the bot lane.
So, that was a very well played series by Pepega, picking up kills in top and bot. Already picking up an advantage over this Vayne and this Janna. So definitely going to be a little bit more dicey of a gank down there for the Amumu. Ivern's going to be able to take control of the bot jungle. And looks like Pepega squad's taking an early fight. With possible gank here. Ivern's going to back in the bush, not looking for anything crazy. And looks like bot lane might push up here. A little bit risky. And it's going to go for the snare. No, Vayne's going to roll out of it. Nautilus lands the anchor, lands the snare as well. Kai'Sa going to go for the Q again, and third kill.
That Kai'Sa.
Wow, that Kai'Sa's already going to be 3-0 at 3 minutes. So that's going to be huge for the side of the Pepega squad. Definitely going to help that Kai'Sa scaling. And again, bot lane's coming up huge for them. So, looks like Ornn's going to go in, get a little bit of poke down on the Renekton. Not really much that he can do in that regard, but
still just that back and forth poking up there in that top lane.
Pretty much, that's all they're going to do for now. Renekton's probably going to try and harass him a little bit more, but man, this ball lane is really coming together, and looks like Renekton's going on the Ornn. Ornn going to E out. Renekton, the answer that was stun. Auto attack reset, push back to his own turret. Doesn't have vision in the river. Doesn't want to be pushing up too far. Doesn't know where that Amumu is right now. So, Ivern and Amumu actually going to go at it. Looks like a lot of shields and healing going to come out from Ivern. Amumu is not really going to do much at this point in the game. So, Veigar is going to land the stun on the Ziggs. Going to get one ability down. Amumu, nice bandage toss, forcing out the flash on the Veigar. Veigar's going to have to back up. He does not have any mana either. So, summoner advantage on the side of Pepega, or on side of Lambton there. Pepega not quite prepared for the 2v2 Ivern. Obviously, Ivern and Amumu at this point in the game are not going to be that strong fighting. They're just going to be more, well, need some clear and some farm. First Drake is going to be an Infernal though, and definitely going to be...
the Renekton coming in up here with the...
yeah, he's not really going to be able to do much. He's just going to swipe at that Ornn. Ornn has a lot of CC and a lot of disengage, so he is able to leave. So... Nautilus and go for the anchor, not going to hit. And bot lane is just going to kind of take over this game at this point. Kai'Sa being 3-0 this early is not going to be fun for that Janna. She's going to do a lot more damage than she necessary. So, definitely going to be tough.
Yeah, but lucky for Pepega squad, they have a really good team mentality, it looks like, with a working strategy. So, I mean, when you put that into motion right away, it's...
looking for this Vayne to scale again. It's going to be tough, though, just because there's going to be so much pressure in this ball lane from Kai'Sa being so far ahead. Amumu is pathing more. Ooh, nice land on the combo there. Renekton going to go in under turret, actually. He's going to hit the ult. He's going to go back to the flash, but does die to turret. So even trade there, 1 for 1. Good on the Ornn. Unfortunately, he did take an extra tower shot there as he was trying to leave. Amumu was going to come in and try and clean up, but even trade 1 for 1 in the top lane. That's actually pretty good for Ornn. Both of them no TPs, but Flash was burned on Renekton, so Lambton actually winning there, and they did pick up their first kill of the game. So it does accelerate the Renekton's early game spike because he is 2-1. He does pick up that Tiamat. Definitely going to help him with that wave clear, able to push out that top lane. Might come mid, try and help out this Vigar. Not doing too bad, but not exactly pushing out the Ziggs. Ziggs does have a small CS lead of 10. So
See, now another thing that concerns me is last game we saw Pepega with that gold lead too. So, I mean, they're not too far ahead now, but, you know, with their continued farming.
Looks like Amumu's going to try and come in for the gank on the top lane here. All thrown out by Orin. Orin's going to go for the ult. Hits the Renekton. Flash, bandage, and E from the Amumu finishes him off. Means that, ooh, lands the snare on the Ziggs. Ziggs going to flash out. He's going to take his W. He's going to leave. But what that does mean is that they're going to try and force this Infernal out. They know the jungler's top because he just killed Renekton. So they're going to try and take this Infernal. Looks like Lambton's going to back off and let him have it. They do have 4 members here, so there's not much Lambton can do at this point. Smite secured, and another early Infernal on the side of Pepega is definitely going to help them out a lot. So Renekton going to look to go back to the top lane, try and gain advantage in this Orin. The Amumu does seem to be staying away from that bot lane. Understandable as the Kai'Sa is up 3-1, so it's definitely going to be a lot tougher for Vayne to try and scale back into this game. So, an interesting Kai'Sa actually, what definitely helped her out was her press the attack. So, a lot of Kai'Sas, depending on the lane matchup, will take either Fleet Footwork, which gives you healing, when you take your rune pages here. So, Fleet Footwork does sometimes work better depending on who you're laning against. Usually a lot of poke or a lot of pressure from the support means you'll take Fleet Footwork so you can heal yourself back up as you're hitting stuff. Press the attack was taken on the Kai'Sa, which means she will be doing more damage over burst amount of time. So it is a more offensive summoner. It's not really defensive summoner. I think last game she had Fleet Footwork and Orange. She's going to go for some poke here, and I've got a fight in mid lane. Vigar lands the stun. He's going to go for the full combo. Able to get Ziggs to about 3rd HP. Ziggs is going to back up. Full combo is burned. And Ivern just going to walk out, looking for that shield. And looks like top lane goes back to full health. Looks like Renekton's going to try and go in on the Orange. Orange definitely taking
stun there, yeah.
Stun, and the healing out of the Renekton actually makes him win that trade when it looked like it was not going in his direction. So, and bot lane again playing it safe, and flash out of the Ivern, flash in the Orin, trades 1 for 1, and nothing's gonna happen in that top lane. Orin's just gonna try and back, and a lot more action happening on the side of Ivern than the Amumu's trying to hard farm the jungle so he can help out in that top lane a lot more. So definitely, junglers looking more towards the top lane than the bot lane. Amumu not really going to be able to help out much in that bot lane right now as that Kai'Sa is really far ahead. Picks up the red buff for herself actually, so that's going to mean that Lambton's going to have to back off even more. And they both are level 6, whereas Janna is only level 5. So, ooh, the flash hook by the anchor. Ult on the Kai'Sa looks like flash to the side of Janna. TPs on both sides. Orin going to come in for the fight. He's going to put the ult on the Kai'Sa to try and finish her off. And he is going to, no, he's going to heal out of the Kai'Sa. Kai'Sa's going to stay alive for now. He's going to get the Renekton's going to get the kill. Nautilus is going to turn around. Nice flash on the side of Nautilus. And Kai'Sa's going to try and pick up these kills. And ult in. Janna one more auto attack. And another kill on the side of Kai'Sa. So well played there by Pepega. Lambton. Orin overreaching, trying to kill that Kai'Sa. Kai'Sa was able to heal, get out of there, escape the CC, and Renekton come back to clean up the kill in bot. So they're going to 4-man push this. Plates are still available for another 2 minutes, so they're going to split the gold here. 40 gold apiece, and they're going to let Ivern's buddy, again, take care of the tank from that. See if they can possibly take the turret. A couple plates taken in top by Amin, who's going to try and invade this jungle. As he knows, Ivern is bot lane trying to take this turret, and they're not able to actually take this turret. So a lot of plates taken on the side of Pepega, but they did not take turret, which is very important, especially when you're only 11 minutes in the game. If you lose your bot turret that early, you're kind of just, you're going to be under a lot of pressure on that bot lane for the majority
Absolutely,
of the game.
yeah.
So it looks like they're going to take or try and take a Rift Herald here. Ivern is in the bot lane. No wards on inside that Rift Herald pit, so they are unawares that this is being taken, and looks like they're going to get a 3 Rift Herald out of this, so Mumu going to take it. Try and probably help out that top lane, try and push that turret, as it is pretty low. Try and take that first turret of the game before Lambton can, so looks like just going to farm now Renekton, going to try and walk in on the Ornn, but as we see the first items come through, Ornn picking up the Sunfire Cape, Storm Razor coming in for Kai'Sa. Couple big item spikes on the side of Pepega, whereas, you know, Ornn has picked up his Sunfire, and there's only a T-Mat on the side of Renekton, and looks like Vayne's going to try and go in here on Nautilus. Nautilus is going to take a lot of damage from that. Vayne is going to go for the third proc. Ult knocks up 2 of them. Kai'Sa's going to Q, keep him away, and they are able to survive. No one's going to go down. Janna taking a lot of damage from that Kai'Sa Q. She wasn't even in target. Wow. And Snare lands on the Ziggs. They're going to go in. Cage put down. Ziggs going to flash out. Heal on the side of Janna. Ult by Amu is going to get Ivern and Veigar. Veigar's going to go down. Renekton and Ornn fighting the top lane here. Nautilus going in. He's not going to be able to pick up anyone. And Renekton does win that fight in the top lane. Vayne going to try and shred out this Nautilus. Going to pick up the kill there. And pick up the kill on Ivern. Double kill, and they're going to be able to pick up the Dragon. So very good fight by Lambton. Despite being down 2k gold, they took that fight, and big stun by Amu, able to catch out the Veigar and the Ivern, means they both couldn't escape. Able to clean up the kills on the back end as well. Okay, so going for the steal, not quite going to get it. And means that Lambton's going to win a good fight and is going to put them back into the driver's seat in this game. Pepega squad's still up about 1,500 gold, but does mean that Lambton is back in this game.
I'm kind of excited now to see, you know, that even fight between, you know, the team.
Definitely something to keep track of over the course of this game is how fast that Veigar will scale. Because despite being 0-1-0, he's still going to scale. He's still going to get AP to his name every time he hits a champion.
Okay.
So he will infinitely scale. Obviously, he's going to start off pretty low, but as the game goes on, his R is going to hit harder and harder and harder. And they do have to look. They do have an advantage in top. The Spear of Sojin is completed on the side of Renekton, so he is going to be very strong. And he is 4-2-0. Ornn is 1-4-1. As the top lane was meant to go. Unfortunately, they haven't been able to take that top turret. In fact, they didn't get any plates on it, so there's not really a lot of value in the actual turret. So they're just going to try and reset. No objectives on the map right now, so they're just going to kind of wait it out, farm out some lanes. Try and, you know, get some pressure maybe out in that top lane, try and take down that turret. Looks like there's going to be a lane swap going on. Kai'Sa's going to go to top, and Renekton's going to go to bot lane. Vayne is going to be left down there. Janna looks like she's going to head to top lane. Vayne by herself down there for a while. You need to watch out for that Renekton. Nautilus is going to be walking up through that river. Ornn is going to be waiting in that bush. Looks like they might try for a dive here on the Kai'Sa. We don't know. Renekton is going to heal on the side of Vayne. Means she might actually get away from this. She has one more roll. And the stun lands. And no. She does not survive. They're going to go all in on the Kai'Sa here. They got 2 members. And they're able to knock her up. Ornn can get knocked up as well. And keep that Kai'Sa alive.
Huge team kill. Kai'Sa shut down.
Ult out of Ziggs there. He's going to go for another Q. Flash inside of Ornn. A lot of shield coming out of the Ivern. He's going to stay alive for a little bit longer. Turret shots are going to take him down, though. Ornn is going to go down. And Veigar is going to be able to stay alive, barely. Sliver of health. Looks like W out of the turret is taken by the Ziggs. And Rift Herald is actually popped in the top lane. They're going to see, maybe they're going to try and push this next turret.
It's a huge congratulations to Lambton, though, for getting that first turret down in the top lane.
So definitely a big thing. Renekton unable to get that turret, and looks like Rift Herald is going to take 1 charge at this turret. It's going to be about it. So obviously, as a Vayne almost did win that fight against Renekton. She'd have to burn heal. She did almost take him in a 1v1, which is very surprising. Usually Renekton will win that heavily, but Renekton was able to win it out in the end. And top lane, they were able to pick off the Kai'Sa and get the turret. Put down Rift Herald, get a little bit more value out of that. But that was about it. Pretty even across the board. Vayne 2-3-0 does not have her Bork yet, which is very important, as Kai'Sa is already 4-1-1, has Storm Razor, has Boots, and has half of her Gwynsu's. So when when you compare these two ADCs, both of them are at a 2. They're looking for a 2-item spike. So Kai'Sa gets a Storm Razor and gets a Gwynsu's.
Okay.
And Vayne gets a Bork and gets a Gwynsu's. Gets a Bork and a Gwynsu's instead of a Storm Razor and a Gwynsu's. So when Vayne hits 2 items, that's when she is massively strong in the game, because her W, which does true damage, so no shields, no shields, no anything will stop, no armor will stop that. It's true damage from her W, which are little circles that go around them. When you get a Gwynsu's means everything you do procs twice. When you get to 6 auto attacks on someone, every auto attack proc you have procs twice. So, for example, Kai'Sa has her passive, which means every 5 hits, she does a little bit of true damage and a lot of magic damage too. Oh. So both of these ADCs.
Janna coming up on the bot.
Doesn't look like she's gonna hit in with the tornado though. Mumu mismanaged and nothing's gonna happen there. Kai'Sa is gonna look like she's gonna solo in this top lane just to absorb the farm and the XP. Just gonna try and ward out this. Dragon will be up in about 45 seconds, so both teams are gonna try and play around that. But both Vayne and Kai'Sa both have passive.
Kai'Sa taking that
top turret. Yeah. So both Vayne and Kai'Sa both have auto attack procs. So Vayne does true damage, Kai'Sa does magic damage. Both of them want it faster, so they build attack speed into Gwynsu so they can proc it twice as fast. So it looks like an Ocean Dragon's being up, good for early game sustain. We're kind of floating on an early game, but it's good for resetting in fights because you do get your HP and your mana back that much faster. So looks like they're both going to try and contest this. A little bit more vision on the side of the Pepega squad. They do have Cryo in this because they were in the river first. Moon gets stunned up by the Vygar. Not going to do very much damage to him. He's a tanky jungler, so at this stage, Vygar's not going to be doing a lot of damage to that magic resist king. So
it seems to me that Pepega's kind of a little bit leery about this dragon, that they might just give it to Lambton.
So it looks like M's going to go for the steal, actually, try and take it before they even get there. And it's down to 200 HP. Miss smite. Ultra with a Mumu Morgan. Ziggs going to try and throw his ult. Mumu misses ult. And Janna going to go for the healing on the Mumu. Mumu's going to pick up the dragon on the end of this. Vygar. Vayne's going to pick up the kill. It looks like Orange's going to pick up the kill as well. And that is a 4-for-1 trade on the side of Lambton. And they are back in this game. They picked up, not only did they pick up the objective and the dragon, they picked up 4 kills on the side of Lions. And looking for a 5th, not going to quite get it. But wow, that was a...
it's a great tie-up.
Yeah. So Renekton actually was not in that fight. He had TP, chose not to use it. Unfortunately, the Amumu was able to land a big ult, able to eliminate that Kai'Sa very fast, and the Ivern was caught out at the end. Nautilus, just trying to run with his life, was not able to do anything. And Bork was picked up right before that fight by Vayne, so Vayne actually was able to slow that Kai'Sa and able to catch her in her escape, in her E. And that allowed them to win, like pretty much win that fight. As soon as that Kai'Sa was taken out, they didn't really have a lot of damage on the side of Pepega. So gold was about 2,000 apart. Now only 500 gold up on Pepega. 2 dragons on the side of Lambton. And another big thing there was the really early smite by Amumu meant the dragon was left at 143 HP. Anyone really could have gotten it, but the fight did go towards Lambton, so they kind of got a free dragon. A little bit of a misstep there. Fortunately, his team was able to cover for him, and they're going to try and posy around this Baron, try and make sure that Lambton can't get a good look at it. They have a lot of wards around there. But, yeah, big fight, and easy way to come back in this game. And we have gold almost even, kills almost even. Dragons 1-2, towers are 2-2. So
it's a very even matchup.
Very
I'm finding.
Even game right now. One scary thing will be how much faster will this. It'll be a big ADC battle between the Kai'Sa and the Vayne. Who can stay alive? Who can do more damage? Because depending on that, that'll definitely mean that whoever wins that battle will most likely win the fight. Ziggs will do a lot of splash damage. And again, in that fight, as you saw, big Amumu ult into big Ziggs ult means that Ziggs can basically land his ult for free because again, when you land in a Mumu ult, it's a circle. Zig's ult, also a big circle. So if you land in a Mumu ult, Ziggs can just press R right in the middle of that circle, and he can automatically hit whoever that Mumu managed to land with his ult.
We can kind of see Lambton poking at the bottom here at Renekton, hoping maybe to get that last tower.
He's trying to defend his outer turret here. Farming up by the Ornn. Ornn does have TP up, as does Renekton, so both of them wary of the possible Baron plays, but both of them are going to try and play it safe. Just go farm in lane. And just wait for the scaling. Again, both teams waiting for the ADCs to come online, waiting for the scaling to begin. Lambton waiting for those Ornn items to come in, which they will start coming in about a couple minutes. When he hits level 14 is when Vayne's going to pick up an IE, upgraded Winsu's or an IE, depending on what she wants to choose. So looks like gold is now even across the board. One more turret on the side of Lambton, and kills are even. But this pretty much as close as you can get to an even game as of right now. So just looking to try and clear out wards. Lambton's gonna try and take some priority over this Baron. Keep clearing out the wards, and now Pepega is kind of blind. They can't really walk in here. They have one ward in the front bush, the side of mid lane. Other than that, they got a few in their own jungle, but they have nothing really other than the tri-bush and top where they have any pink wards. So it's definitely going to be tough for them to try and walk into these blind corners, hoping that the Amumu isn't going to Q them and stun them instantly. So definitely going to have to be careful. Both Ornn and Renekton are probably just going to wait and see what happens in mid lane, see if one team goes in on the other. Both of them with TP to them. Renekton looking like he's going to try and actually walk up through the bottom here, try and give his team some support. Mumu is actually going to try and solo Baron. I don't know about this. He's looks like he's about half health. Maybe just starting it, waiting for his team to get there. Put about a quarter of the HP down. He's getting kind of low though. Vayne coming here too, and Pegasus actually looked like they were going back to the bot lane. Not really sure if they're aware of this. I think they know now. They see everyone's heading towards it, so looks like Lambton's gonna
come in and try to
step
steal
off.
that Baron.
Yeah, Lambton's gonna step off, let it reset. Unfortunately, it does mean their jungler and their ADC are gonna be at about half health, which means they have to let Pepega come in, sweep away some of their wards, put down some wards of their own. This mid turret still standing on the side of Lambton does mean that a lot of pressure in the mid lane is absent from the side of Pepega, because they can't push up any further than just that mid lane. Looks like they're going to head down to drag, and Lambton doesn't really realize this. Looks like they're going to try and go towards the Baron, but uncontested dragon. Oh, and Vigar actually kills Ziggs. So that might mean looks like dragons are even, but there's one kill on the side of Pepega. Oh, they're going to go in on the Kaisa. Big ult by Amumu. That's Ornn going to come into the ult. Yeah, Ornn going to come into the knockup. Shut down on the Ivern, shut down on the Amumu. Looks like Vayne is going to shut down there. And looks like they're going to clean up this fight. Vayne will look for the engage again. Vayne's still alive, going to go for the Nautilus. Not going to get that third proc though. Waiting it out. Janna's still alive. Oh, looks like he's going to get the hook, but Tornado interrupted that. And it looks like Pepega actually win this fight in a 1-for-3. Or 1-for-2, sorry. Ziggs got picked off early. But they stopped the Baron. Neither team is able to get that. And Amumu came up huge in that fight, because despite his death, he stopped the Kaisa from moving and made it a 2-for-2. So it ended up being a pretty even fight. Both Lester Renekton and Kaisa, and Lambton lost their Ornn and their Amumu. No big advantage to either team. Again, gold is only about a 1k difference, and at this point it's becoming less and less substantial. Losing their Ziggs early in the fight was definitely devastating. They probably could have cleaned up a lot better if Ziggs had not gotten caught out. But Ornn was huge there, stopped the Amumu from escaping as well, or the Renekton from coming in as well, and was able to keep their Vayne alive. And as long as Vayne stays alive in a fight, you definitely have a big advantage. But The problem is at this point, Vayne is down about 40 CS, and although they are both at 2 items, or although the Vayne is at 2 items and she has hit a spike, Kaisa is actually at 3.5 items, which means she is so much further ahead than the Vayne at this point that she will become late game a lot faster than the Vayne. So definitely we have something to keep in the back of the mind, but again, Vayne with a Janna especially will do a lot of damage to you if you don't take care of her. Both these ADCs have invisibility with one of their abilities. Oh, it looks like engage on Janna doesn't quite get it, because Ziggs is going to do a lot of damage to him as well. He doesn't really have a lot of health, he just has magic resist. So Nautilus is not as tanky as he looks, definitely a lot squishier. Vigar's going to look for the cage, not going to get anyone with that one though. A lot of poke going to happen in mid lane. Ornn looks like he's going to try and roam up. Baron definitely still on the cards for both teams. Both of them looking to try and get an advantage, maybe get a pick. Allow them to, you know, take that Baron, or at least force the other team to try and fight on it. Both teams just looking like they're going to take their jungle spirit. And problem is, Pepega does have an advantage, but they can't take any fights because Lambton still has their mid lane turret. So at this point, it's both teams just trying to play for that Baron, make sure that, you know, they can try and get wards on it, try and get vision on it. Not gonna allow the other team to take it uncontested.
I mean, their best option might be just to come around one side, but
the good thing is Renekton does have TP, Ornn does not, because Ornn did TP into that fight, whereas Renekton was able to walk there. So it looks like Lambton are going to go for a Baron take, actually. They're melting it down, they're about half health here. Renekton comes in with a TP, they're going to try and fight this out. Ornn, nice ult onto the Nautilus and the Ivern. Knock up, Ivern's going to go in for the... And steal! What a steal by the Ivern, flashes in for the smite. Renekton's going to go in as well. Vayne is going to try and melt him down. Kaisa able to stay alive. Vayne is going to take out Kaisa. Oh, and cleaned up on the side of Lambton, but nice steal on the side of Pepega means that they are going to be able to take a few turrets. Unfortunately, it does not mean that they will get Baron push here, so they could have gotten more, but I cannot believe how good that steal was, because if you do not get that steal, you probably are able to take an inhibitor, and it means that game is that much harder, especially when there's 4 members alive on the side of Lambton. So Ornn ult came up huge in that, able to disengage 2 people from coming into the fight. The Ivern and the Vayne. Vayne was able to stay invisible, able to walk around, not allowing that Renekton to get onto her. And they were able to take the inhibitor before Pepega squad did come up. But really, really well played by the Vayne, able to stay alive. Janna keeping her alive as well. The key to these fights is, can Nautilus engage on the Vayne without getting pushed off? And unfortunately, Nautilus got disengaged by the Janna and got disengaged by the Ornn, and he was not able to get onto that Vayne before Vayne went invisible and walked away. Veigar also not able to pull off his ultimate in that fight, was not able to, you know, do does an immense amount of damage, was not able to ult, was CC'd by the... Ooh, looks like we're going to go... Nautilus going to ult the Amumu here. Ooh, a nice hook, nice ult by the Amumu means that Ziggs ult does huge damage. Cage does save them by the Veigar. Fortunately,
Pega's, pulling away.
Pega's going to take this dragon for try and take it for free. Oh, and a nice ult on the side of Pepega means they do take the dragon, but they will lose their jungler for that. Oh, that's a step up. We're not going to be going on a big 6 here. Big kill on that. 3 against 3. Next going down to the Vayne. Vayne's double knockup by the Ornn. Vayne's going to go on rampage. And Vayne is going to pick up... Janna's going to pick up the kill. Vayne's going to look for the last kill on the Ivern. Ivern's going to run for his life. Janna's going to go for the flash Q. Tornado does hit. Vayne's going to try and come around the side. Q into the auto and another slow. And clean up by that Vayne. So that Vayne has definitely hit a point where she can just kind of clean up fights by herself. Good engage, able to pick off that Ziggs. Unfortunately, not exactly the target you're hoping for. It looks like they're going to try and end this game right here. Got a 3 against just the Nautilus. We got caught out in the beginning, and it looks like Lambton is going to clean up this game. 22-17, we're about 30 minutes in, and looks like that's going to be it.
It's a beautiful push from Lambton, though. So I feel like that Baron steal was a really good chance for them to
It was their
push